It's July 17th and I'm over in the Teton Valley. I wanted to make this quick little video for Jeff and others in the office there to see what's happening in the Teton Valley. I'm in Victor now at the Teton Springs Golf and Casting Club. It's a beautiful golf club here. Just had lunch. It's lunchtime, so everybody's in having lunch. A few golfers over here. I think that's probably the 18th or the practice or the first over there. And just a beautiful clubhouse. So I'll go tour around the valley a little bit to give a flavor of the Teton Valley, and you'll see what's happening here that does affect the viability of this investment, potential investment, and the bank building. Completing the view of the core area here, there are a couple of hotels. There's a shared ownership hotel and then a regular hotel that have units purchased and leased back or managed by the hotel operator. A couple of really good tennis courts, and this is the fitness spa here. Another hotel here. And the last major building here is the golf facility, golf barn. There are 575 home sites here altogether, and I would say it's probably only a third or a quarter built out at this time. I've moved up to the small town of Victor. We're about 8 miles from Driggs in the southern end of the Teton Valley, which is surrounded by some beautiful mountain ranges. That's the Snake River Range to the south, some great mountain biking. And off to the left on the east side is the Teton Range. But anyway, First Bank of the Tetons had a bank. It's now been taken over by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is in Victor. They have a brand new building also. I believe that is an asset owned by the bank at this point in time. Originally, the idea was to get it sold to an investor, but I don't think they ever quite got that far. And it's presently an asset of the bank. I moved up to Driggs now. I've been working in my office here this afternoon. I thought I'd just show you a quick little look-see at what I've done here. This is Creekside Meadows, an 80-acre development. I've built about 50 homes. We're about 90% built out, 39 townhouses, 16 apartments. I have commercial property up front that I'm starting to develop, or will develop when the economy is right. But anyway, we built all these homes in a factory. They are pre-built, but to U.S. IBS, International Building Code standards. So I'll head up to the bank building now. In downtown Driggs now, there's a picture of the subject property, the First Bank of the Tetons. It's a one-story, but I don't think there's any offices upstairs, about 5,300 square feet. It's in the Brulham's Retail Shopping Center Plaza. You can see it's very busy here. It's a great supermarket. People have said it's on the par with Albertsons and Smith's in Jackson. And there's a hardware store and some strip center shops behind here. We're about 1 block from the only stoplight in the town of Driggs, which is the town center. That tall building was just built. That's George Gillette, who is the developer at Grand Targhee Ski Resort, former developer at Vail, Colorado. And just around to my right here is also another bank that just recently built. The Wells Fargo was the Jackson State Bank, but Jackson State Bank was sold about a year ago to the Wells Fargo group. Inside Brolham's store now, a modern supermarket that rivals Albertsons. They even have sushi here, and now they have some, looks like, fresh-made Chinese food. Vegetable department, they got a great deli, great bakery, and it's everything you could want in a small-town grocery store. Adds to the livability of the eastern Idaho. Little city of Driggs. It's the backside of the bank, and right in the center of town here. It's a great location, I would say. It's right within this parking lot. And the Brolham Shopping Center, there's Wells Fargo across the street. There's a retail clothing store in the large building called the Wardrobe, and then the next building over is the City Hall, City Center, Senior Center. Was the old grocery store, but got converted to city property. And you can see Ace Hardware here now off to the left, and a series of shops, auto parts and dental care, coffee shop, Curves Athletics Place, and Brolham's behind. There are some large new buildings going up in town now. This is probably 25 to 35,000 square feet. built by George Gillette. It's a 4-story. There's a basement and then 3 levels above of a retail center. Now I'm a couple blocks from town, but connected to town and annexed in town is Huntsman Springs. This is the new county courthouse building, and with more commercial space around. John Huntsman is of the Huntsman Chemical Corporation, and you've probably been reading about him recently in the Wall Street Journal. His company was bought out by the Apollo Group, Leon Black, but they had a dispute, but it's been settled with Huntsman claiming a victory of $1 billion breakup fee, and he recently also won a victory against Credit Suisse for bank funding. Also was a $350 million settlement. He's a big player here. I'm going to show you the golf course that he's built, and he's built about 20 of the first homes in Huntsman Springs also. Some of the recently finished homes in Huntsman Springs, there's a recent sale here of 1.4, 1.6 million. I think he built about 30 homes, but it's been slow. Of course, he finished these homes at the beginning of the recession. But anyway, you can see Grand Targhee ski area from here. That's the rounded peak there. If you look carefully, I think you can see a lift station at the top. And then off to the right is called Peaked Mountain, where there's our chairlifts and expansion area. And then behind that is Granite Basin and Teton Canyon with the snowfields there, which is the backside of the Tetons. And you should be able to see the Grand Teton here, so you can get an idea of where we are in relationship to Owl Creek. You'd be on the other side and to the south. But great access to the national parks from this side too for recreation. That's Mount Owen to the left there, and should be able to see. No, I guess you cannot see Mount Moran from here. But anyway, a lot of people, including myself, come over here because we can hike in the Tetons, but not be in the national park, and you can take your dog. Look at the golf course. This is a Scottish Links course designed by David Kidd, who was famous for the dunes, I think it's called, in Oregon. But moved a lot of dirt here and made some lakes and ponds and greens. I guess there's no fairways, and a lot of rough areas too, and a lot of water. Just absolutely beautiful. Those are the Big Hole Mountains to the west. Nice view of the whole Teton Range now. I'm still standing in Huntsman Springs. Had to talk to the security guard for a few minutes just to get him comfortable. But anyway, the Teton Range here, some of these great canyons. That's Darby Canyon there, and Spring Creek Canyon here, and Teton Canyon. But I wanted to show the relative location of the airport. All these commercial buildings, these large tan buildings, are all private hangars for jets. A lot of private jets from Jackson land here because it's a more open valley, easier to get in and out of, less weather dependent. Harrison Ford lands here, and he takes his helicopter home over to Jackson, over to Wilson. So going to head to the airport next. It's a major function of the development of this valley. They're in the process of widening the runway to 100 feet wide from 75 feet. Of course, 75 is not enough for commercial, and they've gotten FAA money, funds, and approval to widen it to 100 feet. Nobody here is really saying the C word yet, but commercial is in the near future here. Huntsman and Gillette and some of the other developers here, I think, are behind some air travel to direct commercial service to Driggs.